All right, if you are thinking of jumping off the buying fence and maybe looking to rent in Toronto, Ontario in 2022 in July, let me explain to you why you should 100% reevaluate your decision because it is absolute chaos in the rental market. As we all know, interest rates are rising. Whenever there is uncertainty in the real estate market, we always see first-time homebuyers or just anyone in general really take a step back from buying and they want to see how this plays out, which is totally understandable. I get that 100%. Buying a property is a major investment, I know. But if you're thinking about taking a step back from buying and jumping into the rental market here in Toronto in July of 2022, I'm going to go over why that is a terrible idea and it is not a fun place to be. As most of us know, the buying and selling market has cooled quite a bit. Interest rates are rising, prices are down a little bit. There is a lot of uncertainty, which forces people to rent. With that being said, prices about 6-7 months ago for one bedrooms were about $1,900 for one bedrooms downtown Toronto. During the pandemic, they were as low as $1,600 a month. You couldn't give away rental properties during the pandemic. Once it kind of cooled off and people started moving back to Toronto, everything started opening up, the rental market started to take off a little bit and get its legs back, and we started to see prices rise really quickly. Now, we are seeing prices for one-bedroom condos downtown Toronto almost at least $2,300. There are some units, of course, everyone's going to get mad at me for this. I know there are units out there for cheaper. But I don't think if I were to send you a search right now that there would be one single one bedroom under $2,000 in the downtown core of Toronto. The average price is between $2,300 and $2,500. That's without parking. No parking. Add parking, you're looking $2,600, $2,700 for a one bedroom condo. So people then say, okay, well, I'll rent for a studio. I'll look for a small space. I'm not home anyways. I'm back to work. Well, those studios are literally a box in the air. Usually no balcony, no parking. Those are renting for about $1,900. So you're not far off, maybe even $2,000 for some of them in certain buildings and certain pockets of the downtown core. This is not the worst part. The prices are horrible. Don't get me wrong. The rental market is terrible right now. I feel for the renters, I genuinely do. The worst part about this is if you don't have at least 700 credit, if you're not making $70,000, $80,000 a year, which is a lot of money for a lot of new professionals, and you don't have excellent references, good luck. Every property that we've put offers on for any rental in Toronto has at least 3 other competing offers, upwards of 10, 15 offers. So you're competing against 10 other people. There's a lot of money in Toronto, okay? And a lot of people that are uncertain with the buying market, taking a step back and trying to get into the rental market, oh, we'll just rent for one more year. It's not a good idea. But you're competing against 10 other people. They're making it the norm to pay a year up front, 6 months up front, pay $100 over asking. Some realtors right now are holding bidding wars on the rental market. We're all used to the condo. There's not much you can do about that. With that being said, it is not a fun place, and I strongly suggest before you jump in the rental market, please just call me. Just text me, email me, and let me explain to you why I think buying is a good idea and how to avoid this rental market and how buying is possible. The amount of rental clients that I've dealt with in the past that have 60, 70, hundreds of thousands of dollars saved and think that they need 20% down to buy. I think it's ingrained in us from our parents. My parents were the same. When I was looking to buy my first property, they always told me I need to have 20% down. You're never going to outsave the real estate market, never. If you want to wait and try to time the market, kudos to you. I've said it in a million videos before. Good luck. It's impossible to time the market. This exact same thing happened during the pandemic. During the pandemic, you couldn't rent condos, you couldn't sell condos. People were terrified of the world. People were scared to walk outside. People were sending me articles saying that Toronto is going to be a ghost town and no one's ever going to come back to the city. People were sending me comical things. And they waited and they waited. I'll rent one more year. We'll see what happens. And it took off like crazy and we saw prices rise at a really rapid rate. We're in a similar situation here. There's a lot of uncertainty in the future. Interest rates are rising. There's no doubt about that. And there is uncertainty. I understand that whole thing. I understand being nervous about getting into the market. But always remember one important fact. The interest rates on rent are 100%. You're literally burning that money. So if you even have the ability to buy, please just call me and we can discuss your options. And I can literally show you. It's not just me saying this is a good idea, take my advice. I've been a realtor for a while, I do well. No, that's not it. Let me show you why I think it's a good idea to buy versus rent and how much easier it is than you think. You don't need 20% down. You don't need hundreds of thousands of dollars. You don't need to buy the penthouse with the pool because you can't. You need to start somewhere, start in a starter place, build your equity and move from there. That's how you build generational wealth, is through real estate. My parents, when I bought my first property, They were always telling me 20% down, make as much mortgage payments as possible. Our parents, my parents, didn't really understand the power of leverage. They didn't understand real estate. And I think a lot of people hear this from their families. They have zero ideas how possible it is to buy and get into the market. On the flip side of this, if you're 100% convinced that you don't want to buy, or maybe it isn't the right time for you to buy, and you're in the rental market, my advice to you, work with a realtor who hustles, because it's not going to be a fun time. Make sure that you know exactly where you want to live. Be extremely organized. Now isn't the time to shop around. Units are lasting maybe 1-2 days on the market, if that. Half the time, if I book 5 units to show my client 24 hours in advance, by the time the next day comes around, there's maybe 3 available. By the time I get home that night, there's probably 2 available with 5 offers on it. So you have to act extremely quick. Have your documents ready to go. Photo ID, letter of employment, pay stubs, credit report and score. Credit report and score has to be Equifax or TransUnion. It can't be Credit Karma or Borrowell. Have everything ready to go. And again, just be ready to make your move. Don't be slow with everything, because things will get leased up and then you're just wasting your own time. It's not your realtor's time you're wasting, it's your own time, because you're going to be doing this day after day after day. And if you wait 2 or 3 days to make a decision, I can tell you they're all going to be gone. Anyways, that's my take, and that's exactly what's happening in the Toronto real estate in July of 2022 rental market. It's chaos. If you can buy, call me. I can walk you through the process and I can walk you off that ledge. If you're enjoying these videos, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel, like this video, follow me on my other social handles, Instagram, TikTok. It's at the Dave Hutch. Engage in my comments below. Catch you on the next video.